My first question has to do with vaccine mandates. I have a lot of concerns about them. As you know, President Biden, issued an executive order requiring all federal employees to be fully vaccinated by November 22nd. Given, sir, that federally inspected establishments cannot operate without USDA inspection, what is the USDA's plan to ensure that federally inspected meat and poultry processing plants are adequately staffed if a significant percentage of the inspection workforce elects not to get vaccinated and is subsequently discharged? In other words, on one hand, I think there's overwhelming consensus we need to increase capacity. On the other hand, we're about to put ourselves in a situation because of forced vaccine mandates that the government might dramatically decrease capacity. Thoughts on that, and what is the plan to remedy that?
Well, we're in the process of surveying our employees, Representative, to determine whether or not what you've suggested is a likely scenario. At this point in time, I'm not convinced it is. I think that the significant percentage of workers at USDA understand and appreciate that our concern is for worker safety. Our concern is to make sure that people are protected, that we comply with CDC guidelines. And I don't anticipate at this point that we're going to see a major disruption in our capacity to do our job at USDA. We will make adjustments if it turns out the survey results over time begin to reflect a different approach than what I'm seeing today. Obviously, we'll take steps to make sure that we do not disrupt inspections. We do not disrupt the important work that's being done at these plants. We don't see it today. We don't see it today. So.
Okay. Yeah. November 22nd is going to be here pretty quickly, and I just have a lot of concerns with the position we're potentially putting, further dampering and hindering the industry. The second question, sir, would you agree that part of a healthy free market competition is the ability to distinguish a product, your product from your competitors? And if so, and if the USDA is successful in allowing individual harm as a basis for violation under Section 202, won't this inhibit cattle producers in Kansas and across the country from differentiating their products because the packer can't pay a higher price for a higher quality, better product due to fear that of a prosecution by the USDA or a potential lawsuit from a producer who didn't get the same price for an inferior product?
I don't believe so, Congressman. I think we can craft these rules in a way that provides a bright line for industry to understand and appreciate what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, what is fair to producers and what is unfair. I think the problem in the past has been the uncertainty of what is or what isn't, and that's what we're trying to rectify with the Packers and Stockyards revisions that we're considering.
My understanding is to date we've had 8 federal circuit courts of appeal, have upheld the requirements so far, with no dissenting circuits, and the U.S. Supreme Court has denied review of this topic multiple times. Each time the courts have found that plaintiffs must show harm to overall competition rather than injury to an individual. Essentially, the courts have said the law is meant to ensure equal opportunity, not equal outcomes amongst producers. So based on all the court decisions and despite a clear congressional intent, how do you plan to initiate the rulemaking and draw this line that you discussed?
Well, I'm going to rely on the folks in our department that are essentially responsible for making sure that what we propose can pass muster in courts. That's the goal here. Obviously, it's not. We're not going to review these in isolation. We're going to review these in light of the way the law is and the way the law needs to be followed.
Okay, I see my time's expired. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming before us this afternoon.